Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tommy and I'm a Harley-Davidson Master Technician here in Toowoomba at Darling Downs Harley-Davidson. Today's video, Neil has decided to make the trip up from Brisbane. Neil's running a Milwaukee 8 Fatbob and he's opted to go for the high output 128 cubic inch kit from Alpha Performance Engines. So we're going to rip straight into this one, get it built, bang it on the dyno and see what it makes. And we'll go through a little bit of stuff there. But this one is, if you guys are subscribers, you'll know the Lowrider S that I built is very similar engine. Went 158 horsepower, 155 foot-pound, I think, 150 foot-pound, I can't remember. But very similar combination. This one on Neil's, we're running the Cyclerama 540. That's slightly different to the 530-2. that I've got in the Lowrider S. It's very similar. However, Neil's opted to go for the 64mm intake and 64mm throttle body, whereas on the Lowrider S, it's running the standard throttle body and the 55mm intake from Screamin Eagle. So we're going to see what happens there. It should prove to make good horsepower up top. I don't think it's going to make as much torque because it's got a bit, a little bit bigger hull. I don't think the air velocity is going to be as high, but up the top it might make a difference. So other than that, the pipe still got a nice 2-in-1 on there from Reinhardt and a Reinhardt air filter. So this one should be pretty good. I'm excited about it. We're going to jump straight into it anyway and just get this thing built, put it on the dyno, and we'll get into it. So stick around and check it out. Alrighty, as said, this is the 128 cubic inch APE kit. Awesome, beautiful looking X FORGED Pistons from CP. Obviously got our APE logo on there as well. Just an absolute beautiful finish. The CP just very good pistons, highly rated. So they are the 4 and 250 thou bore, of course. Now this is the Cyclerama 540. Now this is slightly different to the 530-2. It's very similar, but yeah, this is the other option. So we're going with this one, Cyclerama 540. And yeah, this should prove to make just as much horsepower. I'm not sure if it's going to make as much torque because we are going with the 64mm intake from Screamin Eagle. Of course, this one, however, comes from APE, hand textured and flowed up to really increase airflow. So I think just with the larger 64mm hull, we probably won't see as much port velocity. I don't know. We'll see on the dyno anyway. But on my Lowrider S, I run the 55mm intake with the standard throttle body. However, this one we're running the 64mm throttle body. So we're stepping things up, but yeah, hopefully this thing will still make just as much power. I don't think it'll make as much torque, but we'll see what happens anyway. Of course, the latest and greatest oil pump from Harley, the 8-lobe G-rotor side is on the scavenge side, of course. And yeah, we're gonna bang that one in there. That's gonna prevent any sumping and that sort of thing. So we'll get that in there as well. Now, if you guys have seen any of my other stuff, you will know that I will not put an engine together without upgrading to the full complement bearing for the cam. So as you can see there. All right, these are our stage 2 heads from APE. They come out of the box, fully assembled, ready to go. You should always give them a clean up and that just to be sure, but they come hand ported, float on the flow bench, equally matched both heads, +1mm valves, everything's done. All the sharp edges on the combustion chamber are cleaned off to prevent any pinging and knocking and all that sort of stuff. Obviously float on the exhaust side as well, but look, these are just a great head. They really do wonders. So I'm not going to get into too much more mucking around. We're just going to get this thing assembled. Obviously pulling engines down and all that, a lot of people have seen all that sort of stuff, but it's the assemblies that matter. So let's get into it. Well, there we are. 147 horsepower and 131 foot-pounds of torque. That is going to feel solid on the straight. The torque curve is super broad. There's a lot of torque everywhere, and the power curve just keeps going to the moon. So plenty of power, plenty of torque. This thing is going to feel solid. I can't wait to see Neil's reaction. I'm going to give him the bike. He's going to go for a ride and see what he thinks. Yeah, thanks very much for checking it out. The links for Alpha Performance engines are down in the description. Just click on that, scroll down, you'll see the links there. Got their Facebook, Instagram, and their website all down there, and my Instagram's on there as well. But yeah, thanks very much for checking it out, guys. See you in the next one.